Now that we know why Kubernetes exists, let's understand how it works under the hood. Welcome to Kubernetes Architecture. At a high level, Kubernetes is a system made up of a control plane and worker nodes. Think of the control plane as the brain, and the worker nodes as the hands doing the actual work. Let's start with nodes. A node is just a machine. It can be a physical server or a virtual machine, and it runs your containers. Each node contains two key components: the kubelet, which talks to the control plane and manages containers, and the container runtime, like Docker or Containerd, which actually runs the containers. Now, on top of that node, Kubernetes introduces the concept of a pod. A pod is the smallest deployable unit in Kubernetes. It's basically a wrapper around one or more containers that should run together. Okay, so that's the worker side. But who's managing all of this? That's where the control plane comes in. The control plane consists of several components. The API server is the front door. Every command you give to Kubernetes, like create pod or scale deployment, goes through the API server. Then there's the scheduler. It decides which node should run a new pod. Like a traffic controller, it looks at resources and picks the best spot. Next up, controller manager. This guy watches the cluster and makes sure the actual state matches the desired state. For example, if a pod crashes, it notices and tells Kubernetes to spin up a new one. And finally, etcd. This is the database of Kubernetes. It stores the entire cluster state, which pods exist, where they're running, what configs they have, everything. So to summarize, you have the control plane managing the worker nodes. You send commands to the API server, the scheduler decides where stuff runs, the controller manager keeps everything stable, and etcd remembers everything. That's the Kubernetes architecture in a nutshell.